Okay, it's everyone is the princess or king or queen. It's all about me. I'm the 10 of diamonds today, and it's all about me. Okay, this is gonna be really fun. Hi, honey. You want to say hi to everybody?
Oh, you have your crown.
Yes, well, it's the 10 of diamonds today, so.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, bye.
There it is.
So he's the 3 of clubs, and he has been living his Ascension 10 of diamonds today. So if you are the 3 of clubs, networking is your genius. You love to connect people. Okay, I'm going to take it off now. Ascension is just going to the right and up. I don't like these glasses today. I've had the weirdest kind of stop and start, but let's talk about the 10 of diamonds. People will just join as they will, but the esoteric downloads, every one of the cards has an esoteric teaching about it that is simply due to its intersection, its position, the cards around it. And it's an esoteric teaching about the fabric of reality. And it will definitely say something about you once you kind of chunk it down to like the human being and the personality level. But every one of them has an esoteric teaching, which means like, yeah, just like a teaching about reality. So this might sound a little bit kind of out there for a minute, and then I'll bring it more home to the individual expression of like why do 10 of diamonds kind of feel and act like the world should revolve around them sometimes, because it does. The world revolves around you. Your world revolves around you. You are the center of your world. And so the 10 of diamonds is kind of the poster child for how we handle that experience. And when we have ego attachments and things like, I don't know, caring a lot about how other people think of us, then it can be really difficult. Because like I've experienced this amazing insecurity today, and I'm like, whoa, is this a 10 of diamonds thing? And I'm like, well, yeah, because the Ace of Hearts is Venus to it. And so is there this intrinsic insecurity or I need love? When you go to the left, it's, what I'm beginning to understand is that in order to fulfill the potential of the Ascension hand, you have to master the left hand. So when we get to the 7 of diamonds day, that like April 14th, I'm going to talk a lot about how I've mastered. It's going to be a very personal reading, but I'm going to talk about how my mastery of the left hand has allowed me to step more into the right hand. And I think, I don't know, depending on your background, you've got more, stuff to deal with. It's more challenging. I know some very dysfunctional 10 of diamonds, and I apologize in advance if I'm going to come across too harsh or negative or insulting to 10 of diamonds. It's not my intention to insult you. I'm just really familiar with the dysfunctional aspects of the 10 of diamonds. And on the other hand, my daughter, who is very evolved, she's almost 30, and she's the 8 of clubs and 10 of diamonds. So I'll bring out, some of those. Anyway, I'll talk about both hands. So starting with the Ascension, just wondering why nobody's here. See, that's my Ace of Hearts today, being like, oh, you gotta like me. Have you had that feeling today? Like, I need people to love me. I need to know that they love me. And I need money. I want money. So this is the Descension hand talking. It's like, yeah, the aces represent a need or a vacuum. It's a seed. Desire is a seed energy. It plants a seed. Oh, wouldn't it be so awesome to have such and such, and let's just say new windows. Wouldn't it be cool to have vinyl windows that were really well insulated and clear and operable and just like looked snappy in my space? And if you have this attachment energy, then it creates all this suffering and all these meta issues. But if you just exercise the delight of desireless desire, a non-attached, oh, wouldn't this be cool? then it's like this vacuum. And that desire becomes the seed that gets planted of something that could manifest later on. So I know I'm beating around the bush, but how do we resolve the feelings of insecurity and desire today? Even feelings of worthlessness? You go to the 0 point. That is the shortcut. You go to gratitude and 0 point today, because what is in the center of that 10 of diamonds? Look at the card really close. What's in the very center? It is nothing. Nothing. That's right. Nothing is in the center of the 10 of diamonds. And that nothing is the 0 point. And we can come here today. Let's go there meditatively. If you're driving or whatever, just do your best, but like take a breath. And if you can, close your eyes and just imagine an empty sphere inside your heart. You can rest there. Do you feel the stillness? Do you feel that this is a complete place? It lacks nothing. It is nothing. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't want anything. This is what the Hindu term akame refers to. This desireless akame is available today. It is palpable. Hi, Gypsy. What a great way to begin once you guys jumped in. Finally, it's like, oh, I finally calmed myself. So the 10 of diamonds is always everything. I didn't know what it was for a long time. And about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know, I was studying the cards, giving readings, and I said, it's got to be more than just a lot of money. And my guide said, torsion field. Then I asked a 10 of diamonds. At that time, it was my daughter's best friend. I said, what are you? What does it mean to you that you're the 10 of diamonds? Of course, she knew nothing about this system. I just wanted to hear what came out. It's a little thing I do when you're learning about a card. You ask that person about to give you a little walnut of truth. You'll be amazed what comes out of their mouth. So she said, I am a tree. It's really, really, really freaking brilliant that she said that. I'm going to show you a picture of why. This is a tree, and it goes up and out into the world, right? It goes up and out. It drops leaves that go down into the soil. They're reabsorbed by the roots, and it goes up and out and back down and into the trunk of the tree and back down again. So this is a torsion field. Imagine both sides doing this at the same time. That's a torsion field. And guess what? That's what you are energetically. So this same friend of my daughter's who began to teach yoga, she was teaching a yoga class, and at the beginning it was very cool because she's like, put your hands out on the floor and feel your energy going down and then coming back up into you and coming out your head and down and back up into you. And she was creating the torsion field that we are. I think that galaxies are probably torsion fields. I think there are a lot of torsion fields in nature. And if you think of it like a donut, think of the frosting melting down into the center, but then curving all the way around the outside of the donut and going back down in. And the truth is, the 10 of diamonds is a torsion field that is doing both at the same time. So it's a little hard to imagine that, but that's the 10 of diamonds. Esoteric wisdom is kind of like it's the universe, or it represents the donut hole in the center of that. So you can try that meditation of being a torsion field, shooting off into infinity and becoming everything and like one with everything. And then once it hits the horizon, it begins its contracting back to a singularity, which is you. Every individual is a singularity. And if a 10 of diamonds in your life seems really self centered, it's because they are the singularity. I am the singularity of God expanding out into everything and then ending up as me, this individual. So there are so many applications to this torsion field, to the experience of being human, to having a 10 of diamonds show up in your life and expect the world to revolve around them. And it's like sometimes there's this self centeredness that is like, ugh. But it's also, 10 of diamonds are very polarized. They tend to be anyone in the Jupiter line is going to experience polarity. Can't tell you exactly why. There are a lot of things in here that point to that, but this is one of the principles of learning the cards that I would pass on to you is just take in observations and you don't need to connect them, but you can be like, wow, this card is really such such. And I've tucked away those observations and not known where it comes from until this past month. And I've been studying for like almost 30 years. And I go, oh, now that I'm learning more about cardology from you guys and from being in little collectives and study groups and stuff, the field opens up and then I get more access. So I know that Jupiter line people, if you ask them, do you feel polarized? Do you feel like you're really this, but you're also really this? They'll be like, oh my God, yeah. It could be because of the six of diamonds that leads the way. But that's one of the really polarized cards. Like they have asked them about their shadow side and their secret life, and they might be like, oh my God, how did you know? Or they'll pretend it doesn't exist, or they'll tell you, yeah, okay, here's my secret life. They're really polarized. Um, so if we talk about the Ascension hand of the 10 of diamonds, this is very, very powerful. Okay, so wait, I'm going to finish the esoteric wisdom. So the whole time I'm laying in yoga today, I had the most amazing experience. And I have to remember the descension hand of the 10 of diamonds it's this crazy insecurity that's shown up out of nowhere. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to shine and be the 10 of diamonds today and share all this amazing wisdom. And then, I don't know, where is everybody? There's this like, insecurity. It happened in Clubhouse this morning too. And now the view counter says 0. So it's like, okay, it's bringing this up for me. It brings up our insecurity, our need for love, our need, the desire, the aces, the desire energy. And then, okay, let me finish out this descension hand a little bit. So they go down here for the Mercury, Venus. Oh, and the 8 of Spades. Okay, this can come out at you like a kind of, oh, Rikara, praise the Lord. Thank you. It's like I called my son about 15, 20 minutes ago, and I'm like, I only got a few minutes, but I need to talk to somebody. What are you doing? Fixing spark plugs. And I'm like, oh, that's so grounding. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And I just have to try to get up over whatever weird insecurity is going on today. And I invite you to do the same. Find the 0 point. It's a non-attached place of completeness. Okay, so this 8 of Spades can come out. Okay, and this is true of Queen of Clubs too. That's so everything I'm saying here, there is such a direct connection between Queen of Clubs and 10 of Diamonds. Not every pairing is so recognizable, but this is of the Queen of Clubs that I know. Okay, this 8 of Spades will either be a very powerful voice, not that they're going to yell at you, but they're going to be very firm. This is what's going on, or an absolutism kind of clarity that if everyone doesn't see it this way, I don't know what's wrong with them. God help them. And that's because of this King of Clubs that sits underneath it. That's the ego presentation of the King of Clubs is everyone lost but me? They like the word obvious. Isn't it obvious? And I'm like, it is to you, honey. Yeah. And my truth is obvious to me. Can we just honor our subjective knowledge? Okay, anyway. So this 8 of spades can be a very powerful voice, but when you take it in the Ascension hand and this becomes your moon card, it becomes absolute confidence. So you don't have to advertise it. You don't have to convince or persuade anybody. You can just be absolutely confident. And I'm watching the Queen of Clubs I know working with that energy. I am absolutely confident. Therefore, I am positioned to do all this incredible giving. And we'll get to the Ascension hand in a minute. But this is very compelling. If you continue on down, so the relationship, they can come off kind of needy, and they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't even want to tell you that they feel needy. They need something from you. If they're really dysfunctional, they're going to cover it up with massive arrogance, overconfidence. Okay, the Ace of Diamonds, they desire, I don't know, something, possession, money, but they're very passionate about it, and they can go into a this is where they can get really self-centered. I want what I want, stamp my foot, fixated, passionate on getting what they want. And the evolution of both of these is to say, oh, this is my inner child. That is my bestie. This is me, this Ace of Hearts. How do I be tender with this little baby here? How do I check in with her on a regular basis? How do I find the seeds of love? Go back to the beginning. And the Ace of Diamonds, I value myself. I am passionate about my value, my unique value. And because this can be kind of challenging, this whole nut, they can develop issues about self-care. They can be like, ooh, that's really selfish. And then there's this pinball between ego selfishness, but healthy self-care. And, oh, I'm not allowed to do that. So then they abandon the self even more and more and more. It can be so complicated. And that's one reason they feel this polarized energy. Okay, but if they figure these things out, this self-love and self-care, that's good. Okay, then they come down here and they've got Queen of Diamonds as Jupiter, which can be, this is the you should voice that comes out of them. This is the I'm larger than life, I'm going to get bigger than you, and we're going to play the I know more than you game. Yes, but this. Yes, but this. Yes, but this. You can tell I have some dysfunctional 10 of diamonds in my life. But I also have some spectacular heroes that are the 10 of diamonds who are turning it around so spectacularly. It's a big, big bite to take to be a 10 of diamonds. Big, big. It's everything. It's big. Jupiter, Jupiter. It's really big. How do you deal with that energy of expansion and bigness? It's hard. It's hard. It's like you're inclined to take up a lot of space, and sometimes you do, and sometimes you can't help it. You walk into a room and your aura is huge, and you're like, can I just hide sometimes? I think that must be hard, and that's part of the polarization too. Is go be a hermit. Incorporate that alone thing into your life if you're a 10 of diamonds. So that Queen of Diamonds in Jupiter can either be service-oriented businesswoman and the truth teller. And oh my God, some of these 10 of Diamonds women I know, they're excellent discernment truth teller people. You have an Ace of Diamonds and 10 of Diamonds and Venus in your 52. Okay, thank you for that question very much. I think it means, okay, they both vibrate to the number 1. So it's a birth energy. It's a desire, a new beginning. And because it's in Venus, I would say desire is the key word. What do you want? Spend some time giving yourself permission to just want what you want. Free it up of all the shoulds and limitations and just be like, "Oh, I want this." Sometimes I go esoteric and I'm like, "I want this shape. I want this energy. I wanna occupy this position in space." And sometimes it just kinda helps you get there. But any pictures that come in to mind, and I'm getting for you that this might bring up some deep sorrow about what you have desired in the past, and there may be some grief work. We're getting there. So the hand that I'm talking about applies to you, especially once I got to this Ace of Hearts. A lot of inner child self-care for you during this period is absolutely essential. 10 of Diamonds is not necessarily that you're going to expand, explode, and make a lot of money. It's a real working hand. The emotional work is intense. Okay, so this 5 of Hearts in Saturn is, God, I wish I could just get in a car and go and just get away from it all. Oh, good. You are right on track. You're listening. That's another asset of today. Kind of the positive shadow of the 10 of Diamonds is this 0 point, which is that you may have an urgency today to get what you want. But if you kind of discipline yourself to come back to the 0 point, you'll find that you can hold space for the wealth around you, the wealth of the budding green leaves, the openness of this moment, my sleeping dog, you, the person in front of you, their story, their truth. There's this non-attached, incredible silence in the middle of a spinning galaxy, like the black hole, as it were. It's the 0 point, it's shunyata, it's the alia, all these terms for the nothing, the magical nothing. So that's accessible too. Okay, so the 5 of Hearts is this need to separate. It's a need for freedom. It's a need to ghost people. And you know why 10 of Diamonds are infamous ghosters? Because they feel like everyone wants something from them. They feel like they have to be all things to all people. They can be polymaths. And I tell them if they come in for a reading, I say, just because you're capable of it doesn't mean you have to do it. Benjamin Franklin, obvious polymath. When you look at the list of inventions, you're like, he did that too? It's mind-blowing. He was really irresponsible with his wife and daughter, though, and that's why I think he reincarnated as Mark Twain and made good on all that. I've studied these 2 lifetimes, and this was his karma. The 5 of Hearts is that he ghosted his family. So what's the karma to the 5 of Hearts? It's the 5 of Clubs, which is Mark Twain or Samuel Clemens card. It's a fascinating past life study. If you can name their birthdays and track them, you can see exactly what card in their hand they came back to work on. Okay, Rakara. It's not cosmic lesson cards. I still don't know what that means. I call a lot of these things by other names. I don't do it in the traditional school method, and it's not always that's not just because I'm just so smart and I'm doing it my way. It's that I'm lazy and sometimes I just don't attend to Robert Camp's technical meaning. And I've become more fluid with all of it because I'm like, well, I see it going both ways. Is this a cosmic lesson or is this a cosmic blessing? Of course I am. 7 of Diamonds. But no, I just am. I'm not sure what you're referring to as a cosmic lesson, but that would technically be the 5 of Diamonds. Did I say diamonds? I meant the heart, which is Saturn, and then the karma card to the 5 of Hearts is the 5 of Clubs. There's a 5 of Hearts under here. Okay. So then the 3 of Clubs is Uranus. This genius, yes, I know you are. This genius expression. Okay, wait, you guys, Rikara and Gypsy. Yeah. So you've got 2 of Clubs under you. And what I would say about Gypsy, you would look at Rikara and go, she's got something that I'm trying to get. That's how I would interpret your 2 cards. You look at that card that sits in your classroom, that's sitting in your house. I think that's something we're supposed to learn. Anyway, it's something to play with. So there, they can also worry about a lot of things and have health problems as a result because of this overmanaging. But they're also really, really just incredibly brilliant people. The Three of Spades in Neptune is my greatest dream for myself, my idealized self, is to be an actuator, to get it done, to bring it into the physical. But when they ascend, maybe the idealized self becomes, I just want to be someone who helps other people feel sane and clear-headed. I bring clarity. And this definitely is like, I always see glass. I've never said this out loud or even realized that I think of it, but I see crystal. I see crystal, like a crystal cathedral with that 10 of diamonds. And my daughter, who is the 8 of clubs and 10 of diamonds, her name is Crystal. But there's something really, really clean and clear and pure and magical and, yeah, like a crystal castle. Anyway, so that 4 of clubs is crystal clarity. Yeah, and the karma card to it is the 5 of clubs, which is another, ooh, did Mark Twain say, I'm also going to become my best self? Someone who has clarity. Okay, so here's the coup de grace of the descension hand is the 9 of hearts. The 9 of hearts is, okay, the Pluto means you're going to be driven to the bottom of this barrel until you get it. And it is worthlessness. It's despair. It's feeling that you deserve nothing. You have no value. No one loves you. You don't deserve love. You're not lovable. Oh, isn't that awful? That experience. And as a 7 of diamonds, I've been down there many, many times. And there was this one quintessential moment where I was doing this more as an observer of my own experience through a class I was taking. So a bunch of us were going down into this. And it's like, it's the diamond approach. The diamond approach. I'm not kidding. That's what it's called. It's the Ridwan school. And I was doing it at Naropa. Anyway, I was in this meditation. And I let myself settle all the way down to the bottom of my hole. I was thinking about how I felt worthless in my mother's womb. It was core stuff, and she didn't want to be pregnant. And, it all turned out okay. But I was going into that feeling of I'm not wanted. I shouldn't be here. And at the bottom, at the very bottom of that cavern, there I was. And I was like, oh, so I guess I do exist. I'm here. I'm here. I am. I'm okay. And I rose up out of it, and I've never been there again like that. Global. So is the world having access to that experience today? And when you get there, what do you find? You find yourself, and you know what's in yourself? Everything. Today is the lesson of everything. It's I'm worthy. I'm a queen. It's all about me. Everyone loves me. So sitting in yoga today. Oh, no global above. No. Oh, you were clapping for global. I got it. That's really funny. And yes, it could be a global experience today. Finding self-love, doing so, if you see someone struggling today, just give them the invitation to love themselves and say, honey, it is all about you. Okay, so this is a really cool thing that happened. So I'm laying there in yoga, and it literally the entire hour of yin yoga. We never stand up in yin yoga. We just lay around in positions and stuff and like stretch and it's this amazing opportunity to be present to yourself in a group context, and I always kind of watch myself and where my energy is at, and I'm usually up in everybody's story that I'm making up in my head. And today, as I lay there and I look up at the ceiling, and there's a pool outside this window, and the sunlight reflects onto the ceiling, so it looks like light, liquid light playing on the ceiling. And so I'm just looking around, and I felt like a baby in a crib looking at everything, and I was like, this is the 10 of diamonds, innocence. This is the innocence. This is one of the esoteric teachings. To be a baby in a crib, you're in the middle of your world, and you are just looking at everything, and you don't judge anything. You don't really feel anything about anything. Your innocence is born out of complete ignorance. But ignore means to not know. I don't know. And there's a kind of lovely detachment or non-attachment available in that energy to say, okay, so, she's saying this or that, or has this opinion that I disagree with, or blah, 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 or she's doing something I don't think is good for her. And it's like, I don't know her. I don't know what it's like to be her. I don't know what it's like to be in their story. And you know what? I don't have to. And that's the 10 of diamonds, the positive shadow. I guess I would say the negative shadow is I have to care about everybody and everything because it's all a part of me. So that's part of the love language is control, maybe, or sermonizing. You should, because it's a diamond. Or can they come back to this place of the 0 point and say, I can ignore everybody out there. I can be as ignorant as a newborn baby and just be, well, it just is as it is. And I was listening to a video today, and a live video, and they said those very words. Well, it just everything just is as it is. And I was like, that is one of the resolutions today of the 10 of diamonds, acceptance. It just is what it is. Okay, so then another esoteric amazing thing happened while I was laying there accessing this energy. I decided my body decided it needed a different position that everyone else was in. And I was like, oh, if I'm all into this oneness and this 0 point neutral energy, then I shouldn't be selfish. And then I was like, nah, I gotta be. And so I'm laying there in this totally different position from everyone else. And then I realized, oh, the Jack of Diamonds is in my hip pocket, and the Jack of Diamonds is a rebel. I need to do it my way. So that's kind of an honest ownership of the 10 of Diamonds too, is I've gone through this torsion field, like the tree comes up and out. The branches, think of a willow, and then it drops its leaves, which then decay, go into the soil, become nitrogen, get absorbed by the roots, and go back up in the trunk. So the tree is a torsion field. And you go out and you expand, expand, expand. Okay, Jupiter people, you can't expand forever. Because what happens? You get fucking exhausted. So then you hit the horizon, expand, hit the horizon, and then the contraction begins, contracting back into the singularity of self. So it's just another amazing esoteric teaching of the torsion field. The first time I said to my guides, what is the 10 of diamonds? They just said torsion field. And I was like, okay. So I would drop that on my clients who are the 10 of diamonds, and they'd be like, oh. And I'm like, oh, whatever. I didn't get it, but they got something from it. It's very cool. And now I'm getting it. It's so exciting. Okay, so it's got the diamond rebel in its back pocket. It also has the 9 of diamonds as its ascending Mercury, which would be ascending is what you give. The 9 of diamonds gives with its speech. As a Mercury card, it's giving. Value goes out, and there is this love. It's also 9 is a graduation or a completion or a harvest. And it's the ability to speak of and see infinite value all around you. It just about makes me want to cry. Okay, the other esoteric thing that happened in yoga was I was like, okay, 10 of diamonds as an entity, and try this. This is crazy. The first time this happened to me was the Queen of Spades showed up. This very like authoritative, big, heavy, stern, loving mother energy showed up, and she meant businessman. She's the taskmaster, and she goes, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Well, that's not a question I usually get from you. What do you want?" She goes, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want for everyone to make contact with their eternal self and to develop a really tight relationship with that part of them that remembers dying and joining with God lifetime after lifetime. That's what I want." So that in itself was a teaching, is that that's what the Queen of Spades is asking you about. What do you want to master? What do you want to give away? And look at this. If she sits here, she's the 10 of diamonds, right? Then her ascending Mercury is the 5 of diamonds, under which is the 9 of diamonds. What do you want to give away? And that's what she was asking. And that's what I wanted. That's what I want to give away. I want to engender that connection, because if everyone's hooked up to their eternal self, they don't need a psychic, or, I mean, sometimes you do. I get that. But anyway, I get stuck in the weeds a lot. The last thing that happened while I was laying there is that the 10 of diamonds came through as an entity. And it was this really, really sparkly, like if you imagine a dress or a piece of fabric. Just imagine this huge piece of fabric, and it is the patchwork quilt of the cards. It was like fabric, and she was this head that popped out as the 10 of diamonds, and it grew and grew until she's this person standing there, swirling and swirling like a galaxy, beginning to swirl. And then this dress began to swirl, and like a spiral, like a galaxy. And she was just rising up, and she was just so beautiful, but like extremely happy, and just filled with that kind of, it was a feminine Jupiter energy. Like when you feel, as a woman, you feel abundant and beautiful and generous and kind and in love with the universe, and you just close your eyes. And she just was rising up and up, and I said, "You're so beautiful." And she looked at all the cards in her patchwork quilt, all of everyone. She was looking at her family of humanity, and she was saying, "Everyone is so amazing." And she was everyone and everything in that garment as she just rose up. It's like sparkling diamonds. It's like her dress was just made of diamonds. I mean, even though it's all the suits, it was quite an image. It's a tricky card. It may be a polarized day. You may have big wide swings today, from feeling insecure and alone to, wow, I think I have my finger on the pulse of reality itself, and I can be in this 0 point. I would invite everybody into a manifesting energy today and ask yourself, what do you want? I mean, if that Queen of Spades showed up and she's sitting in the house of the 10 of diamonds, there's really something to that. What would you manifest for the world? What do you want on behalf of every person in the world, every plant, every animal, every molecule? What is your desire for the all? Like if you're that cosmic 10 of diamonds, swirling shape, rising up into the universe, marveling at the perfect beauty of everything. There's something about perfection here too, which does manifest as the perfectionism of the 10 of diamonds. But what is it in an esoteric spiritual sense? It's about perfection itself, which is everything as it is. It's perfect as it is, and as it is evolving and becoming. So enough with esoteric talk. Please, please do ask me questions. I know I'm a little out there, but like if you have a 10 of diamonds in your life, or like Global One said, or Global Click Photography, she's like, yeah, it's showing up in my hand. What does that mean? So feel free to just shoot me any questions at this point. And suddenly there's 4 viewers. I swear this view counter it lies to me. Okay, so we can talk ascension. Unconditional confidence has been achieved. It's in the moon position. And the sun, this Jupiter is like it's the other sun of our galaxy. 10 of diamonds are like suns, aren't they? The 10 of hearts in Mercury is I see people, I value people, I am comfortable speaking to groups. I just think of my sister being a minister with all of your internal people within you. Miss Stell, do you make YouTube videos? You're like, it's lying to me again. Thank you for that. So yes, there's also a willingness to be seen and an understanding that you're the poster child for something. I'm not saying that, all 10 of diamonds are extroverted, but if there's no shame, then you're comfortable being seen. I don't know. The Venus is 4 of spades, what they are. Oh, they see everybody. They see the wealth. This is something Dr. Seuss said. They're surrounded by wealth. This little card, surrounded by wealth. You're this 0 point in the center of the donut. The 10 of diamonds person or day or period is I see the wealth that surrounds me. So gratitude is really important. That's what gratitude does. I see the wealth, I acknowledge it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm appreciating it. So grateful for it. Yeah, and that's the 10 of hearts energy. The 4 of spades in Venus is the importance of feeling secure and home and being able to give that feeling of security and grounding to other people. And I have noticed that about evolved 10 of diamonds is that they are good at. Oh, yeah, I'm really glad. I'm glad you checked. Yeah, I've been going for almost 45 minutes, so yeah. And Anna T, thank you for being here. You have the Queen of Spades as your Pluto card. Wow. Okay, I will talk about that, but I want to say one more thing about the Mars, what you become passionate about. So here's an example of Ascension astrology. This is the descension dealing with desire or feeling like you don't have enough money or enough value or knowing that you are valuable. Then the Mars in the other direction is the 6 of diamonds, where what you give is purpose and money. I call that dharmic work. My divine purpose is to do this work. Thank you, Rikara. The divine work I'm contracted to do, that I agreed to do, is the 6, and the diamonds is what I make money, or value. It helps people figure out what their calling is. It's passionate about balance and fairness, seeing both sides, and I really have seen that shift in the couple of 10 of diamonds in my life, in their really amazing capacity to do that. So what is the home? What is the Queen of Spades? I see 3 likes at this point. So isn't that weird? It's like, the view counter and the likes are probably trying to influence you somehow. Okay. So yes, let's talk about the Queen of Spades position, because this is the home of the 10 of diamonds, which is Uranus, Mercury. I think of the 10 of diamonds as, okay, I am the mouthpiece, that's Mercury. I speak the truth about Uranus, the awakening of humanity, or the unusual opportunity, the unconventional, the unexpected. I think of Uranus as this spark of energy, the electric energy, the lightning, the lightning strike of consciousness and awakening, and the Christ energy. And the 10 of diamonds, I should just run that by the 10 of diamonds and see how they feel about that. So you make a list of Uranian things and you make a list of Mercury things, and then you put them together. But it really is like a lightning lightning flash of awareness is how, and that's the picture I would give to Mercury, divine Mercury and Uranus. And I think it would be the recognition that we're all one. That would be one insight or awareness. So this does apply to having the Queen of Spades in your life, and as a Pluto. Am I awake to that? Am I awake to where I fit in the puzzle and what my responsibility is here? That's the Queen of Spades taking ownership. And then they're given the assignment. They're like, okay, for you to evolve, you have to go live out your life in the Jupiter position. So this 10 of diamonds is like, oh, gotta go be all things to all people. And they're like, no, 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 you're going to have that experience. But what you're going to learn the hard way through owning self-love, owning your own value, is your capacity to give to others. And in so doing, there will be this family, this sense of the family of humanity. So what I would say about having Queen of Spades in Pluto is that it's a real call to, what do I want to manifest and what have I manifested in my life? Take anything in your life and say, I don't like that. And then say, well, how and why did I manifest that? What was the wisdom? So, not just claiming agency and taking responsibility for manifesting the car that just broke down, but the wisdom of your higher self to say, oh, how does that fit in the dream sequence that is my life? What does that represent? Is my old vehicle, my old belief system breaking down and it's time to get a new one because it's just not working anymore? So, yeah, that's a Queen of Spades question. And then the result is the 6 of clubs. That means through after going through this, you're going to learn about your contracts and what you signed up to do and what's more about your purpose. It's a purpose finding year. Thank you, Global Click. That's so cute. I liked it. 9167. Thank you. You're the 10 of diamonds. That's my sister's birthday. And I was born the year before you. So you are going to turn 55 this year. Does this chart change? No, I wouldn't say the chart changes, although I'm not sure what your question is. What do you mean by that? I talk about Ascension cardology that is unconventional. This is new and different. And it's the same exact map. It's just seeing what we haven't seen before that's been there all along. And it's going to the right and up to check out your hand. So then your 8 of spades would become your secret confidence. The 10 of hearts would become your care and your voice for the people. 4 of spades is your ability to make other people feel safe. The 6 of diamonds is your passion for fairness and your dharmic purpose. Lord, help me do what I'm called to do here. Jupiter is the 8 of clubs, which is access to divine like Akashic wisdom. The Jack of Spades in Saturn is, hmm, hmm, actor, liar, thief. Good. Jack of Spades. Yeah, I stopped there because there is an energy in the 10 of diamonds that is a thief. They are sneaky. They they feel they have to sneak the good into their life rather than just create it or ask for it. So that's Jack of Spades, which gives me pause about this whole model I'm learning or creating or, discovering. So the Jack of Spades, the calling of a Saturn card is the invitation to mastery, and it's really transformation. It's the call to transform, through physical practices, which could be yoga, ayahuasca, a daily habit, a meditation practice, the invitation of spirit into your life, things like that. Oh, you're so welcome. So okay, so the 2 of diamonds is the natural genius. This would say the 10 of diamonds are natural geniuses at forming business partnerships and finding other people who want the same things and to help other people get what they want. The 4 of clubs as the idealized self would be sanity and clarity. I feel really clear about this now. And helping other people find that too. Helping other people feel sane. They've got these two fours that are, helping people find stability. And then ascended Pluto would be the Six of Hearts, which is who are these karmic relationships in your life and how can they help you if you pay attention to those relationships that you can't seem to get rid of. Your children or your ex or your partner or your sister or your mother. How are these relationships chastening you and helping you to become who you really want to be anyhow? That's the calling, to pay attention that those relationships are strategic. They are one of the most important ways you will find who you are supposed to become. What is this person's message to me? They totally rub me the wrong way. I can't stand them. They stand for everything I hate. Those kind of people. And you just got to back way, way up and go, okay, if I get some distance, I go, what would they be the poster child for? How can I turn that annoying quality into a virtue? That's one approach. Another one is, what might they see about myself that I haven't quite seen yet? Yeah, it's a really, really humbling experience. So, yeah, I'm super excited about this video. I was just so excited about all the downloads I was getting this morning. I was like, I gotta write like a whole chapter on the esoteric wisdom of the cards. And when I do, 10 of Diamonds is going to be in it because it is a teaching in itself. And I think that to be one of these cards that is an esoteric teaching, it's a lot. Another esoteric teaching is the pairing between the Ace of Clubs and the Two of Hearts. The esoteric teaching I would call intimacy or connection. And you can learn that intimacy and connection through intimate relationship and love affair, or you can learn it through the Ace, which is I am. And it's the oneness of all. And through self-knowledge, you access, like Buddhic wisdom, you access intimacy with everything because you're one with everything. That's one of those esoteric teachings. Okay, you know what? We haven't talked about how, and if you're all tired, let me know. You got to go, or you have a question, just let me know. Let's talk about something else. The Queen of Spades and the Queen of Clubs are the two karma cards, to put it very simply, of the 10 of Diamonds. I want to talk about this Queen of Clubs underneath, the nurturing underbelly. This is the Mother Mary card. Think of Jupiter as feminine. Could it be that that's another psyop that got shoved down our throats, is that Jupiter is a man? When you think of ultimate generosity, don't you think of a mother? And I'm not being sexist here. I love both sexes. I think it's all about yin and yang. I remember being a guy, I mean, I've been all over in my past lives. I've been a lot of things. Yes, there's some saucy stories in there. I was an asexual seamstress from Germany, and then I saw a burlesque dance in France, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta hand me some of that because that looks really interesting." I was really repressed, and then the next life, I was a burlesque dancer in France. I was a nun. I was in this is a lifetime where I'm bringing them all together. It's a culmination, and I think a lot of us are doing that. We're culminating all of our journeys into this one because this is a pivotal moment in the history of Earth. So those two queens, the 10 of Diamonds really is I would say an essentially feminine card. But the 10 of Diamonds that aren't they just a force of nature? Think of Mother Earth as a force of nature. Quite literally. I think of Gaia as the Queen of Spades. How about you? I think Gaia would either be the 10 of diamonds, the Queen of Spades, or the Queen of clubs. However, April 22nd, oh, it's the Queen of clubs. April 22nd is Earth Day. Curiouser and curiouser. And then there's this kind of, they end up at the pinnacle, the 8 of diamonds. So in the sequencing of the cards, I don't know what this is called, but Robert Camp has this big circle of the 45 cards and how I think the practice of going through this progression does something healthy to your brain. So I would just suggest you do this just as a learning tool if you're learning the cards. Okay, let's start with, and here's how you do it. The Ace of Hearts goes to the 3 of Hearts. And then you come over here to see where the 3 of Hearts is, goes to the Queen of Clubs. And then you go over here to the Queen of Clubs, goes to the 10 of Diamonds. Over here to the Queen of Spades. Up here to the 8 of Diamonds. Down here to the 7 of Clubs. Does that make sense? You keep asking what card sits in this house, in this spread. And that is the sequence of the 45. And when my guides told me, they're like, guess what? The cards don't just go this way and that way. They go this way and that way. And now I know this is what they're talking about. So if you take your card and you write out that sequence, write out the sequence of your cards and go Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter that way. Oh, it's scaring me. It's scaring me. Toto, I want to go home. Did that make sense? I just dropped some enormous esoteric truth. And literally, I'm like, I got my hands full here. Do I really want to look at this? I ain't got time. Okay, so if I can find the circle, do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'm looking in the Destiny Cards book for the circle. Holy cow, I am going to figure out my hand according to this circle. And I know I'm going to blow my mind again. Oh, I don't think it's here. It's in the Love Cards book. It's probably in the Mystic Test book. Yep, that's going to creep me out because it's going to be accurate. I just know it. And I'm going to be like, what do we call this? I don't have a name for it. Oh, this chart? I don't know the answer to that question. I was gifted this and I should totally laminate it. I'm so foolish for not laminating it. But my friend just ordered these from somewhere. Does anyone else have that answer for Anna? I have a friend here who is the 3 of clubs. He's listening, so I thought I'd mention the 3 of clubs. Guess what? The 10 of diamonds is your secret genius. You're the networker. When you're in a place of generosity, don't you just love connecting people and be like, oh, well, she does this and he does that. I mean, I left home and my partner was doing this, who was the 3 of clubs. And then as soon as I get back home, he's still doing it. He is calling up the worm lady in town. And he's like, put together this little dossier, this little, package about what you do. She's an engineer who works with vermiculite and compost and stuff. She's a genius with compost. We call her the worm lady. And then he's talking to our favorite nursery here in town that, grows plants. And they're just like so homespun. And he's like, do you guys know each other? You need to know each other. And so he really has been bending over backwards to get them to connect. And he'll get nothing from it other than just love and satisfaction. Oh my God, Rikara, that's so cool. You could just email her. 10 of diamonds, we're networking with each other. So, Miss Dell, thank you for telling me about the 3 of clubs. They are so, so, so dear to me, probably to you too, because as the 9 of hearts, Mercury, Venus, they're our Ascension Venus, and we're their Descension Venus. The magic circle of cards, that's it. Is it page 350? In Love Cards. I'm going to go get it. It's in my room. Okay. Oh my gosh. The 90 spreads. Sign me up. I spelled that right. Okay. Thank you, Rikara. She's the King of Hearts. She is the loving mother father. She's when you're a female and you're a king, you've really got both mother and father, and vice versa. The men, not as much. They tend not to be. Yeah, we feel sorry for the men. They were more viciously attacked by the dark than us. Here it is. Oh! So, okay, so if you find your card and then do a reading, go to the right and go to the left and say Mercury, Venus, Mars. That's the other way. My guides just showed me, and I told them, don't make me do this time around. And they just made me do it. Okay, so who in the house wants me to work out their hand first? Study up on the planets and what they mean? Yeah, and you know what? If you go, so Rikara, I'm going to beat you to it this time. This is the title of my book. So you got Goat, a Destiny Cards book. Now what? That's the title of my book, and it gives you a really brief description of each card, which is helpful in terms of going out in the world and observing, meeting someone who's that card, and then you're like, oh, but they always do this, and then you plug it into that little list of meanings and go, how could this, you associate the meanings, and it kind of expands your thinking. So there's a two-way channel for information. He is a 10 of clubs, and then by knowing he's a 10 of clubs, you help him understand himself, and then he can tell you what the 10 of clubs is by just sharing. And also, there's this book called The Inner Sky. Did I spell that right? It's kind of like, it might be out of print by now, but it's Sting put a little recommendation on the top of it, said it was a really great book, and he's the 7 of diamonds, October 2nd. The Inner Sky is one of the best, most full-bodied. I cry on a regular basis just reading he takes each one of the planets and he talks about it. He must be a Libra because he turns every planetary energy into a word picture, a sumptuous story, a sensation, an experience. And it's like, oh, now I get it. Like the way he describes like a Libra, the mind of the Libra is, he uses a Madeline L'Engle quote to start out. And she's like, the bird on the path of the sky, or the bird in the sky that leaves no path, or something like that. Kind of a Buddhist thing. So yeah, the inner sky, it's a great way to study planetary energies. And yes, it's really fun to talk to astrologers because they've got their own little sets of definitions and they can really help you expand out. You just go to an astrologer and be like, Jupiter, tell me about Jupiter. And then they'll give you a list of words that you might not have heard before. Okay, the first person to put their hand up and put their card in here who is not unfortunately, the circle of 7. Yes, I am in Telegram, but I remove it from my phone whenever I can. I have the app, so you can look for my name. But it's just like too much information. But yeah, it's kind of a time suck. Oh, my band is practicing right now. ADD, Telegram. Let me just look up what do I have settings. I'm just at Paula Kruger. Ooh, I put a very saucy picture of myself. That's my picture on Telegram. I'm dressed up in my, it was like an anniversary, and I'm like, I'm gonna get saucy. Contacts. Access. Allow. No, I don't want to access. Anyway. You're right. I can start. Should I start a separate channel? Or like a group? Yeah, I can do that, right? I need to get rid of most of these. Oh, geez. Okay. Sharing resources on Telegram. That's a really great idea. All right, I will take a look at that and then I'll advertise that on my next room. Oh, my daily card is the 3 of clubs. Do you guys have this app, the My Destiny cards? And then there's a spade, and then it gives you your daily card and your yeah, that's really useful. Wow. Okay, I'll do that. So I want a guinea pig, somebody who's not in the circle of 7. Put your hand up and I will give you an example of your hand and you tell me if that works. Should we do the 3 of clubs? Oh, gosh, I think it fits. Okay, Anna, when's your birthday? You're the 10 of diamonds. You just shared it with me. It's 9-1. 10 of diamonds. Of course, let's do the 10 of diamonds. So we find the 10 of diamonds in this chart, which is just a couple away from the 3 of hearts. Here it is. Here it is. It's on the left side of the star. Okay, so your hand would be, one of them would be, and I don't know if this is descension or ascension. Okay, your moon would be Queen of Spades. That's when you're being a real taskmaster with yourself. Sun, 10 of diamonds. Mercury would be Queen of clubs. Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Okay. Venus would be, no, wait. Mercury, 3 of hearts would be Venus. Ace of hearts would be Mars. Ace of diamonds, Jupiter. Saturn would be 2 of diamonds. Uranus is 6 of clubs. 8 of spades. King of clubs. Oh my God, that is so true. Shit! That is so true because I know from my sister, the Pluto being king of clubs, she is a little addicted to psychics. She's a little addicted to, can you give me some guidance on? I have to pull a card on, which is, I don't trust myself. That's the shadow of the king of clubs. And the achievement of the king of clubs is, I trust my knowledge, my consciousness, my capacity to understand this. I feel confident about my belief system. I can change it at any moment, but I trust my knowing. I trust my knowing. That would be the ultimate statement of your Pluto card. I trust my knowing. The ego aspect, like there's not enough, there's just right, and there's too much. The too much king of clubs is, when is everyone going to figure this out? It's so obvious. That's the overconfidence of the king of clubs. So does that leave room for other people's truth? So that fits. Okay, let's look at 2 other cards. The Queen of Spades and Moon. Oh, this is your hidden discipline. So my sister, when she was really little, she pulled her pacifier out of her mouth and threw it away. Or no, she was sucking her thumb. And she's like, I'm not going to suck my thumb anymore. And she would cry at night. You try to follow your instincts and intuition. The question is, has that been a challenge? Does that resonate with you? Is getting there, has that been a big deal to trust yourself? And it sounds like with the words, I try to. instead of, I follow my instincts, I follow my intuition. That would be an achievement. So that fits. Okay, does this fit that you have this extraordinary self-discipline when you need and want it? My daughter, planetary ruler 10 of diamonds, literally pulled her sucky out of her mouth and threw it in the trash because her stepdad suggested it to her. And she's like, okay, I'll try that. I'm like, oh my God, I wouldn't have done that as a little kid. I would like my pacifier. Okay, your Mercury, Queen of Clubs, meaning uh, you're actually very intuitive, highly sensitive, sweet, kind, nurturing with your speech, potentially. Or the Queen of Clubs can be kind of picky. The Virgo, picking someone, like every time they make a mistake with their speech, you point it out, you pick it out. That's kind of a negative expression of that. And Venus, 3 of Hearts. This would be, I like a group of friends. Like, I like to have one best friend, but I really like to have a little group of friends and maybe even the love triangle thing. Hi, Liara. Mars, Ace of Hearts. That would mean I'm lonely. Lonely when it comes to sex. And Jupiter is Ace of Diamonds. That's Mars in the descension hand, Ace of Diamonds. So there's something about starting a business or desiring money. Oh my gosh, I think it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So then the other experiment would be to take your circle in the opposite direction, which I'm not going to do right here, except for your Pluto, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Your Pluto would be the 10 of Spades. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Yes, and that would be, what is success? Defining success for yourself, issues around success. And Ascension energy would be, I get to define for myself what it means and step into it. I love it. Or it's kind of like this addiction to being busy. Always busy, busy, busy. Fill it up, kind of like noise. Fill it up with so much noise that I can't think and feel and process. That's another potential expression of that. But yep, we're on to something. We discovered something today. We got a massive download. Oh, sweetie, your family thinks you're crazy. Buying my dream house. Good for you to own that. Very good. Buying my dream building 500 miles away 6 years ago. Now I'm ready to be over it. I'm pretty okay. Good. That's you owning it and just being like, I got to do what I got to do. And you not caring that your family thinks you're crazy and doing it anyway. It's beautiful. Independence and the abundance of desire. I get to desire this. I get to be this and do this. That's fantastic. Okay, so Global Click wants to look at 124.76. 124 is the, oh, this book is so crisp and new and clean. It's the 3 of Diamonds. I know another 3 of Diamonds that I really, really love. Okay, 3 of Diamonds. And we'll do that same moon, sun, etc. No, we'll put 3 of Diamonds here by the sun. 3 of Diamonds. Okay, so where are you? 3 of Diamonds. Here it is. Over on the right side of the circle. Okay, so going in one direction, your moon card would be the 6 of Hearts. Your Mercury is Queen of Diamonds. 9 of Diamonds would be Mars. 5 of Diamonds. No, that was Venus. 5 of Diamonds in Mars. 3 of Clubs is Jupiter. King of Diamonds is, gotta draw divider lines here. Saturn would be the King of Diamonds. That makes a lot of sense. The invitation to mastery as a King of Diamonds. Seven of Spades would be Uranus. That's that faith is a natural gift for you, Global. Would you rather give me your name? Eight of Hearts would be Neptune, which is, are you a healer? And you're actually very, very strong. That's why Three of Diamonds can be mistaken for eights. Yep. I think this is the Ascension hand. Your Pluto would be the Seven of Hearts ultimately, which is to forgive. I can't talk right now. That was a Two of Diamonds calling me. Yep, I think that going to the right is the Ascension hand. Going to the left around the circle is retrograde. Wow, because this fits a very famous Three of Diamonds extremely well. Okay, so Global, the question would be, did that Pluto fit you? Pluto being the Seven of Hearts would be ultimately to forgive, like this invitation to finally just let it go. Would that be the most freeing thing that you could do? Okay, Pluto in the other direction, or no, they're asking, ask about your Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. That'd be the King of Diamonds. Okay, so would the King of Diamonds be Saturn to you as in an invitation to own your own business and to really be the king in your kingdom and say, I am done being the nice guy, and I mean, at the cost of I can still be a nice guy, but ultimately I'm going to do it my way and do what I want. Global, is that a fit? Okay, let's go the other way. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn would be the Four of Diamonds. That's Liara. The Four of Diamonds and Saturn would mean that you struggle to make enough money, like it's just barely enough. But it's about realizing that you are enough. Uranus, Five of Spades, that would mean that you tend to move a lot. Right, and all this, no, that was Anna. So moving in Uranus, yeah, that would mean instability in living situation, a lot of changes. Liz, okay. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Do you dream about being famous? Is that a hidden desire? Kind of idealized celebrity? Is Pluto the Jack of Clubs? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Jack of Clubs, Pluto in the descension would be being squirrely, unreliable, inconsistent, immature. But there's also a genius in there, owning your genius and honoring, having respect for your originality instead of feeling like you're just younger than everyone else kind of feeling. I mean, no matter how old you are, that Jack is like, just never be a grown up like everybody else. Gosh, you're welcome. Thank you for being my guinea pig. Then it's confirmed. Descension would be to the left and ascension would be to the right. So the 10 of Diamonds, Ascension hand would be, she keeps wisdom and Mother Mary as her secret guardian and comforter. She speaks in a way that calls everyone to take responsibility and agency in their life. She inspires agency. She uplifts everyone of her friend circle to be the CEO and asshole card in their own life. I've nicknamed it the asshole card. Oh, good. That's a really good fit, too. Oh, my gosh. This is just blowing my mind. This is blowing my mind. Okay, the Mars for the 10 of Diamonds. So this is today. This is Ascension energy for today, Mercury, Venus, Mars. You wish to make everyone feel like their own CEO and commander. The 7 of Clubs in Mars means you have a passion for discernment, genius, and clarity about things. Jupiter is the Jack of Spades, meaning the greatest blessing to come to someone is to have their world turn inside out, and you're going to help that person with the transformational experience, like, plant medicine or, even a massage, something that's going to introduce something transformational to you. Yep. Okay. No dreams of being famous, but you love. Okay, what about family? The dream of having a big family or getting along with a big group of people? Okay, and for today, Jack of Spades, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter would be, yeah, that transformation when your world falls apart, but it falls together. That's the ten of diamonds would be like, yep, I know that's true. Saturn would be the calling to become a paradigm shifter, the 10 of clubs, same as the Queen of clubs. That's so crazy because if you take the Queen of clubs and you go backwards and up, your Saturn is the 10 of clubs, which is the invitation to become a paradigm shifter. So it's the same for the 10 of diamonds. That's just like freaking me out. Okay, Uranus is 4 of spades, meaning perfect fit for a sense of security and home. 4 of hearts is Neptune, dreaming and idealizing about marriage. Yeah, 10 of diamonds that I know have really, really struggled to find a happy home. So it makes sense that that would be a really massive achievement. 10 of spades in Pluto is the calling to define success on their own terms. Wow. Right. So was it Anna T? Yeah, Anna T. That was your Ascension reading. One of them. That's dope. Thanks for being here while I'm giving birth to yet something else absolutely massive. I need to go to the 0 point and just be in this place of stillness and silence where I'm just like that little innocent baby looking around at my world, just with no judgment and no conclusions. Yep, this is a lot. This is a lot. Does anybody else have any comments or questions? And thank you so much for participating and raising your hand and saying, here, I'll let you examine my life. Okay. So this is your day to feel special. I'm going to put on my little crown one more time. Really special. You come from a big family. Do you like the big family or is the big family a pain in the ass? It's both. Let me show you something. So, oh no, never mind. That was the 2 of diamonds I was thinking. I have to call Steve back now that's in my head. You come from a big family. That's one of those perfect, like, oh, your moon, your launch pad was a lot of people, a big family. That's cute. Okay, well, I'm going to go now, and Rakara, I will make a telegram. Gosh. Okay, telegram and call Steve. Sorry, you guys, making my to-do list. You are so welcome, and God bless. Have a really fabulous day. I'm going to make some hearts. No, come on. Okay. So you do the little bracket that looks like the less than button, and then the 3. Then you hit the space bar and it turns into a heart. Okay. Bye.